Welcome back. It's definitely a good day to smile and say cheese. Lots of smiles and pictures were served up. On the topic of transportation, motorists are seeing stable prices at the pumps in New Jersey. Still to come on FiOS 1, we'll have another look at your weekend weather forecast. Plus, more stories making news. That's right after the break. Gay pride celebrations were seen all around the nation today, from coast to coast.
It's important to know the details before you lock into a contract. This is Jonie reporting for Brooklyn College News.
And now, your FiOS 1 News Entertainment Report. Wedding season is still in full swing. Bedford resident Robert Kennedy Jr. and Curb Your Enthusiasm actress Cheryl Hines are tying the knot at the Kennedy compound in Massachusetts. Kennedy's cousin Patrick Kennedy says the wedding is going to be held in Cape Cod. 60-year-old Robert Kennedy is an environmental lawyer and activist who lives in New York. He's son of the late Senator Robert F. Kennedy and nephew of President John F. Kennedy. This will be his third marriage. On the topic of transportation, motorists are seeing stable prices at the pumps in New Jersey. AAA Mid-Atlantic says the average price of a gallon of regular gasoline in the state on Friday was $3.49, the same price as last week. But that's still higher than the price from a year ago, when motorists were paying $3.40. The national average price was $3.65, down a penny from last week. Analysts warn that drivers could soon see higher prices at the pumps, noting that crude oil prices have been rising in recent days due to rising tensions and violence in Iraq. A member of New Jersey Governor Chris Christie's transition team has died in a murder-suicide. Authorities say Joan Bromhall was shot to death by her husband John, who died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Joan Bromhall was a former Morris County clerk who was well known in Republican political circles. She was 74 and retired in December. Bromhall's daughter says her parents were experiencing enormous stress in recent weeks. In a statement, Christie hailed Bromhall as an outstanding public servant, but an even better person. Expect some traffic on the George Washington Bridge soon, this time with no controversy attached to it. Starting Monday, the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey will resume a steel deck improvement project on the upper level of the GWB that could cause significant overnight delays. 3 of the 4 upper-level lanes will be closed for 12 weeks from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Monday through Thursday, and then from 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. Friday night through Saturday morning. Port Authority officials say the closure times will be adjusted to accommodate Yankee games and Meadowland events. Ocean County's prosecutor is warning about the possibility of tainted heroin being sold in the New Jersey county with a distinctive logo on it. Police responding to an emergency last Saturday found a dead 18-year-old with several baggies of heroin, with the picture of Hello Kitty stamped on them. The lab tested the drug, which was found to be composed almost entirely of fentanyl, a powerful synthetic opiate. Heading to the movies this weekend? There's a nasty storm hitting the box office, but there's also a romantic comedy if that's more to your liking. And for action adventures, the Ninja Turtles are back.
Let's go save my brothers.
In an update of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we find New York City in major trouble thanks to the evil Shredder and his Foot Clan. But then, the crime-fighting turtles ascend from the sewers, hoping to save the world. And they team up with a fearless reporter played by Megan Fox in this action-packed PG-13 rated film. Step Up All In is the latest installment in the dance film franchise, and it features cast members from the first 5 films. The dancers here realize going pro is tough, but they don't give up. Instead, they enter the ultimate dance competition, with a 3-year Las Vegas contract as the grand prize.
Friends?
Yeah, why not?
All right.
Friends.
Daniel Radcliffe stars in the romantic comedy What If? He plays a med school dropout and hopeless romantic who has a history of failed relationships. His faith is restored when he meets the perfect woman. Perfect except for the fact that she has a boyfriend. Now he has to face the age-old question, can a man and woman really be just friends?
If your food is anything like your music, I suggest you turn it down.
Oscar winner Helen Mirren also has a movie on this week's menu. In the 100-Foot Journey, a prim and proper French restaurateur sees her world turned upside down when an Indian family brings its bright and flavorful food to a restaurant just across the street. After a rocky start between the two eateries, we'll see if the two cultures can learn from one another and maybe form a delicious melting pot of compromise. Westchester and Long Island residents rely on Metro North service to commute into the city. The MTA is penalizing their riders with a $10 fee to return unused tickets.
And it seems like every time they raise the fare at Metro North or the MTA completely everywhere, the services get worse.
This is not fair. It's wrong. They really shouldn't do that.
A spokesman told me a budget deficit forced the MTA to change the policy in 2010. He said when faced with an unexpected $800 million budget gap, the MTA tightened its budget and staff. As part of that effort, the refund policy was revised. Beginning March 1st, the time period that a rider has to return an unused ticket will increase from 30 days to 60 days, but the $10 processing fee still stands. Refer to www.mta.info for further information. With no relief in sight, commuters can only hope for improved service. This is Jonie Watts reporting for Brooklyn Cable News. They marched down Fifth Avenue in silence to protest the stop and frisk policy. Thousands made their way from 110th Street to 79th Street.
This is affecting everybody, our children, our parents. As we go back home, sometimes there's children out with tears in their eyes because they don't know what they were stopped for.
Profiling just isn't a problem here in New York, it's a problem all over America.
Attorney Benjamin Crumpt represents the family of Trayvon Martin, the young Florida man shot and killed by a neighborhood watch volunteer.
We believe Trayvon Martin would not be dead today if he would not have been profiled.
Activists now lump together the Trayvon Martin case, the shooting death of Ramarley Graham, chased into his apartment by an NYPD police officer last April, and other incidents.
The only thing that connects these people is their color. 90% of them are innocent. It's a massive racial profiling program. It's not making the city safer, but what's more is that we actually know how to make our city safer without violating civil and human rights.
Derek Perkinson says he was stopped and frisked.
It's very embarrassing to be frisked and your pockets searched through and your whole body touched upon.
The Reverend Al Sharpton, now a TV personality, says police need to listen to the people.
If police was disciplined, as what most of these marches have shown, we would have better police-community relations.
Blacks and Latinos want to see change, but there's no indication from City Hall or One Police Plaza that anything will change soon. This is Jonie Watts reporting for Brooklyn College News.
There are increased safety patrols around the Hudson River construction zone at the Tappan Zee Bridge this weekend. Local law enforcement, in conjunction with the Coast Guard, are cracking down on impaired boaters. Last July, 2 boaters were killed and 4 others injured when their power boat crashed into a barge at the construction site at the bridge. There's also a history of barges breaking loose at the construction site. The president is escaping the Washington heat for a summer vacation, but he may find that the heat from Iraq is following him north. Before the first family left Washington for a Martha's Vineyard vacation,
because of the barbarity and brutality,
President Obama briefed the country on the revival of U.S. airstrikes in Iraq. These pictures show U.S. bombs exploding on targets of the Islamic terrorist group called ISIS, including a convoy moving toward the city of Erbil, where some 150 American diplomats and military advisors are stationed.
if these terrorists threaten our facilities or our personnel, we will take action to protect our people. We will continue to provide military assistance and advice to the Iraqi government.
The speed and the scope of ISIS battlefield successes have defied U.S. intelligence assessments, and the president admitted that the military effort against ISIS is a long-term project.
I don't think we're going to solve this problem in weeks. I think this is going to take some time.
U.S. cargo planes are also in Iraqi skies, dropping food and water to tens of thousands fleeing religious persecution by ISIS, trapped on a mountain and threatened with death.
We feel confident that we can prevent ISIL from going up a mountain and slaughtering the people who are there.
Another big worry, this dam in the city of Mosul, which supplies electricity to much of Iraq.
It has now fallen into the hands of rebels.
If the rebels open the locks, floodwaters could surge all the way to Baghdad, swamping even the U.S. Embassy there. That will do it for us this half hour. I'm Jonie Watts. Thanks for making us a part of your weekend.